God has unlocked a divine portal for you. Archangel Michael says, a miracle is coming, but if you skip this, it will pass you by. Open it quickly, my child. My child, my beloved. Heaven has been waiting for you to open this. There is something already standing at the doorway of your life. And the key to receive it is right here. God has done something today that hasn't been done in years. Heaven has released a portal, just for you. And I, Archangel Michael, have been sent to alert you before it closes. Do not delay, my beloved. You have already missed too many signs. But this one is the one you were born to see. Please, before this divine portal seals itself again, open your heart now. My beloved, my light. Have you felt it today? That strange pull on your spirit. That sudden wind, that flash of a name in your mind, that urge to be alone and still? It was not a coincidence. That was heaven whispering to you. And this message is the final confirmation. The miracle that's been blocked for years is now moving again. And the path is opening because you are ready now. You have suffered long enough. You've waited silently. You've prayed with tears. God has seen it all. And this is His answer. My child, my beloved. This portal is not an ordinary blessing. It is a divine window. And only those chosen are allowed to pass through. Right now, as you read this, a scroll has been opened in heaven with your name on it. The angels are gathering. The sound of divine wind is moving across dimensions. But heaven cannot act unless you respond. Will you receive it now, or will it pass to another? You have exactly this moment to decide. Beloved one. Many portals open silently. And many people walk right past them, never knowing they were one breath away from transformation. But not you. You've opened this because your soul remembered something today. Your spirit leapt because it knew this moment was sacred. That's why the enemy tried to distract you before you clicked. That's why doubt rose up in your chest for a second. Because this is not ordinary. This is supernatural. My child, my beloved. Let me ask you this, why today? Why now? Because today, the veil between the natural and the divine is thinner than usual. And if you listen closely, you'll hear a voice calling you. It's the voice of your destiny, the voice of the miracle that was written for you before you were born. There are angels surrounding you now, waiting for your spirit to say, yes. All you have to do is believe long enough for it to happen. But if you scroll past, it may never return in this form again. Love letter subscribe now, my child. Heaven doesn't send messages like this to just anyone. If this message found you, it means you're ready to step into something far greater than you imagined. Click that subscribe button and receive what is already circling around your life in the unseen realm. Let nothing block this again. Not fear. Not delay. Not distractions. Let the divine connection between us continue every day. Heaven is speaking, stay close. My child, my beloved, what I am about to reveal is not just a message. It is a sacred moment between heaven and your soul. Something divine is moving, and it is searching for you. A portal has been opened by the hand of God Himself, and only your name is written on its gate. This is not metaphor. This is not symbolic. This is a true spiritual occurrence unfolding in real time, and you, my precious one, are being summoned to step through. There are miracles that wait years to manifest, and there are moments that require a divine unlocking. Today is one of those rare moments. The energy around your life has shifted in the spirit realm, and what was once blocked is being cleared. Doors you knocked on with trembling hope are opening not with effort but by divine command. You're not being asked to force, you're being asked to receive. And that is why you must not skip this message. If you delay, if you dismiss, if you forget, the portal may close. And though God's love for you never fades, timing in the spirit realm is precise. This is a heavenly appointment, and I, Archangel Michael, have been ordered to make sure you don't miss it. You have suffered quietly for far too long. You have watched others succeed and wondered when your time would come. You have been overlooked, passed by, and told to wait. But what if I told you the wait has ended? What if I told you that in the courts of heaven, your name has just been spoken aloud? A heavenly decree has been signed. A divine shift has begun. But here is what you must understand, my beloved, divine portals do not stay open forever. This one is timed. There is a countdown in the heavens. And the miracle written in your name is moving quickly toward you, but it cannot attach to your life if you're standing in doubt. It cannot land if you are hesitating. And so I ask you, as one who protects the realm between the seen and unseen, will you believe today? Will you claim what is rightfully yours in the Spirit? Because if you do, everything will change. It will not be like the other times. This is not another maybe. This is not another empty promise. This is sealed by God's own word, and heaven does not lie. Let me show you something that has been hidden until now. For months, a divine alignment has been forming around your name. Angels have been assigned to your case. Yes, I said your case. Because God does not just send blessings randomly, He studies the record of your heart. And though you felt ignored, God was preparing a release so large that no earthly door could hold it. You've cried when no one saw. You've been faithful when no one thanked you. You've helped people who never gave back. And for that, heaven has marked you for restoration. But my beloved, this miracle will not fall into your lap while you scroll past it. You must open your spirit right now. You must say yes to the portal. You must act as if it has already begun, because in the spirit realm, it already has. The transfer has started. The shift has been authorized. Your name is on the scroll. This is not emotional hype. This is spiritual truth. And those who ignore it will watch the miracle pass them by. But you were meant to receive it. Let me show you something that has been hidden until now. For months, a divine alignment has been forming around your name. Angels have been assigned to your case. Yes, I said your case. Because God does not just send blessings randomly, He studies the record of your heart. And though you felt ignored, God was preparing a release so large that no earthly door could hold it. You've cried when no one saw. You've been faithful when no one thanked you. You've helped people who never gave back. And for that, heaven has marked you for restoration. But my beloved, this miracle will not fall into your lap while you scroll past it. You must open your spirit right now. You must say yes to the portal. You must act as if it has already begun, because in the spirit realm, it already has. The transfer has started. The shift has been authorized. Your name is on the scroll. This is not emotional hype, this is spiritual truth. And those who ignore it will watch the miracle pass them by. But you were meant to receive it. Do you feel that stirring in your heart right now? That trembling beneath your chest? That is not fear. That is recognition. Your spirit remembers this portal from before you were born. Because before you entered this world, God assigned certain days that would carry extraordinary favor. Days that would change everything. This is one of those days. The angelic realm has converged around your name. I have drawn my sword not to fight but to cut through the confusion and distractions that try to pull you away from divine truth. Do not be distracted right now. Do not listen to the voice of logic that says this is just another message. You've seen many things before, but you haven't seen this. You haven't felt this. You haven't been this close to breakthrough in a long time. And heaven is watching to see what you'll do next. Will you hesitate again, or will you rise in faith and say, "This is mine. This is for me. This is my miracle portal, and I will not let it pass." Say it now. Whisper it if you must. But speak it into the atmosphere, because the portal responds to bold faith. There's something else you need to know, my beloved. While this portal is opening, not everyone will understand it. Some will mock you for believing. Some will question why you're so moved by a message. But they do not know the price you paid in silence. They do not know the weight you've carried alone. They cannot see what heaven sees. And heaven sees you, fully. God sees the nights you wept into your pillow and still got up with courage. He sees the heartbreaks, the rejections, the false promises you endured. And still, you kept your heart pure. For this, the portal has opened. For this, the scroll was signed. God never forgot you, even when you forgot yourself. And now, my child, the miracle is being sent out. It is already being shaped in the realm above yours. But miracles have a path, and that path leads through obedience, not convenience. You must say yes. You must receive. You must open your heart before the miracle finds another vessel. Let me remind you of something sacred. Every miracle has a carrier. And this one has your name etched into its light. As Archangel Michael, I have been entrusted to carry divine confirmations to chosen ones like you. This is your confirmation. You've been asking for a sign. You've been begging God to show you that your life is not meant to end in confusion, poverty, heartbreak, or delay. This is your sign. This is the trumpet blast. This is the angelic shout before the divine landing. A portal has opened, and it is hovering close to your spirit. If you step into it, truly step into it, you will never be the same. The miracle will change not just your finances, not just your body, but your identity. You will become the version of you that God always saw, even when the world didn't. But you must not wait too long. Heaven's timing is sacred. The longer you wait, the fainter the portal becomes. You are in the thin place between what was and what can be. Step forward now. Do not look back. Before I go further, I must ask you something holy. Have you felt the urge lately to clean your space? To let go of things? To cut ties with people who drain your spirit? That is not coincidence. That is heaven preparing the room for what is coming. When God unlocks a portal, He also prepares your atmosphere. The reason you feel restless is not because you're failing, it's because your soul knows something greater is arriving. That's why nothing ordinary satisfies you anymore. That's why you can't tolerate fake friendships, shallow conversations, or empty goals. You were made for divine purpose. And now, finally, that purpose is knocking at your door. My beloved, you are not just being given a blessing, you are being upgraded into your divine assignment. The miracle is not just a gift, it is a calling. And this portal, once you walk through it, will shift your frequency forever. You won't recognize your old self. The pain will no longer define you. The silence will turn into song. The ashes will become beauty. But this can only begin if you receive the truth of this moment and act like heaven is already on your side, because it is. My child, my beloved, listen carefully now, because what I am about to reveal is going to shake the very foundation of what you believed was possible. For many years, you have been living beneath your divine level. You have been walking through life carrying invisible chains, wearing a crown you didn't even know belonged to you. But today, that changes. Because what God has done, what heaven has just released, is not small. This is the kind of miracle that redefines lifetimes. And it's no accident you found this moment, this message, this window. No, heaven designed this exact second in your timeline, knowing that you would finally be still enough, awake enough, desperate enough, to hear it. The portal is open not just to give you something, but to bring you back to who you truly are. Not the version molded by trauma. Not the version crushed by other people's opinions. Not the version scared to ask for more. I am speaking now to your original soul, the divine spark that existed before the world got loud. God is calling that version forward. And I, Archangel Michael, am standing at the doorway, holding the light, urging you to step through before it disappears. My child, my beloved, listen carefully now, because what I am about to reveal is going to shake the very foundation of what you believed was possible. For many years, you have been living beneath your divine level. You have been walking through life carrying invisible chains, wearing a crown you didn't even know belonged to you. But today, that changes. Because what God has done, what heaven has just released, is not small. This is the kind of miracle that redefines lifetimes. And it's no accident you found this moment, this message, this window. No, heaven designed this exact second in your timeline, knowing that you would finally be still enough, awake enough, desperate enough, to hear it. The portal is open not just to give you something, but to bring you back to who you truly are. Not the version molded by trauma. Not the version crushed by other people's opinions. Not the version scared to ask for more. I am speaking now to your original soul, the divine spark that existed before the world got loud. God is calling that version forward. And I, Archangel Michael, am standing at the doorway, holding the light, urging you to step through before it disappears. You have been through things that would have broken others, but you stayed. You stayed in the storm, in the waiting room, in the quiet ache of unanswered prayers. You stayed when others walked away. You kept believing when all evidence said you should quit. And that is why heaven has now assigned a miracle to your name. This is not a reward based on perfection, it's a reward based on perseverance. God never asked you to be flawless. He asked you to be faithful. And even when your faith felt small, even when your hands trembled, even when you whispered prayers with tears running down your face, He counted that as courage. Heaven counted every one of your hidden acts of love, every secret moment of generosity, every time you chose light when darkness offered the easier road. And now, my beloved, the reward is no longer delayed. The portal has opened, and the miracle is being delivered, not in the future, not after years of waiting, but now. And yet, your role is not passive. You must receive it. You must stop doubting that you're worthy. You must stop comparing your timeline to others. You must stop talking yourself out of the very miracle God is trying to hand you. Let me take you deeper, because what is arriving in your life is not just a single answered prayer, it's a divine reversal. Every area that has felt blocked, barren, or broken is about to be transformed. The areas where you felt cursed are about to become the places where God puts His signature. Financial blockages are about to break wide open, and you will not need to chase anymore, because what belongs to you will find you without force. Relationships that have been silently draining your energy will either be healed or removed, but either way, you will be freed. Your mind will become sharper, your dreams will return, your sleep will become peaceful again, and joy, the real kind, the kind that doesn't need a reason, will begin to rise up again in your chest like a sunrise. This is what happens when a divine portal opens. And that's what this is. I'm not just giving you words, I'm giving you a divine alert. And I pray you don't ignore it. Because if you scroll past this thinking it's just another message, you will miss the one moment heaven specifically prepared in your honor. Do not let this moment slip away. Now listen again, beloved, because the enemy of your destiny is aware that this portal has been unlocked. That's why you felt strange emotions lately, waves of sadness, confusion, or even numbness. That's not failure. That's spiritual interference. The forces that have kept you in a loop of delay and exhaustion are panicking right now, because they can see what's coming, and what's coming is powerful. What's coming is divine. What's coming is irreversible favor. But they know one thing: if they can convince you to ignore this moment, to delay one more time, to second-guess yourself again, the miracle will hover and eventually pass to another vessel. Not because you were undeserving, but because you were unavailable. So I'm telling you this in love and truth, don't let that happen. Don't miss the open door because fear whispered louder than faith. Don't choose comfort when your soul is starving for more. This moment, this very moment, is a crossroads. One path keeps everything the same. The other path changes everything. And only you can decide which direction to move. I must tell you something now that even I was not allowed to reveal until today. God has hidden something in your story, something that has been quietly working behind the scenes. A connection, a blessing, a restoration, a shift, something has already begun to move in your favor, but it could not be shown to you until you were ready to believe. This moment is that confirmation. What you thought was a delay was divine alignment. What you thought was rejection was redirection. And what you felt was silence was really protection. But now, the seal is being lifted. God is no longer hiding what He's about to do in your life. It's being made visible. And that's why I've been sent. To warn you lovingly, you are standing on holy ground. You are at the edge of everything you've prayed for. Don't turn away. Don't assume it's too late. Don't fall back into small thinking. Heaven has waited long enough for you to be ready. And now that you are, everything is changing. And still, I can feel your hesitation. You wonder, is this really for me? Let me answer you with a divine certainty, yes. Yes, it is for you. This message didn't come by accident. It traveled through divine timing, past all distractions, to land in front of your eyes because heaven knew you would need one last confirmation. And here it is. My beloved, do not measure your future by your past. Do not let past betrayals, delays, or mistakes convince you that you've been disqualified. God specializes in using those who thought they were forgotten. He chooses the overlooked to reveal His glory. And you, yes, you, are chosen. You have been seen. You are not behind. You are right on time. And this portal? It's not just about blessings. It's about purpose. It's about legacy. It's about healing your family line. When you walk through this, you're not just stepping into your next chapter. You're breaking generational curses. You're rewriting your future. You're shifting what's possible. But only if you say yes, fully, boldly, and now. And still, I can feel your hesitation. You wonder, is this really for me? Let me answer you with a divine certainty, yes. Yes, it is for you. This message didn't come by accident. It traveled through divine timing, past all distractions, to land in front of your eyes because heaven knew you would need one last confirmation. And here it is. My beloved, do not measure your future by your past. Do not let past betrayals, delays, or mistakes convince you that you've been disqualified. God specializes in using those who thought they were forgotten. He chooses the overlooked to reveal His glory. And you, yes, you, are chosen. You have been seen. You are not behind. You are right on time. And this portal? It's not just about blessings. It's about purpose. It's about legacy. It's about healing your family line. When you walk through this, you're not just stepping into your next chapter. You're breaking generational curses. You're rewriting your future. You're shifting what's possible. But only if you say yes, fully, boldly, and now. My child, my beloved, there's something else I must reveal to you now, something sacred that has been kept hidden until this divine hour. In heaven, there is a scroll, a real one. And on it is written your spiritual assignment, your purpose, and the doors that were always meant to open for you. For years, this scroll was covered in dust because the timing was not yet right. But that has changed. As of this moment, God has commanded that your scroll be unsealed. I was there when it happened. I watched as the light of heaven fell upon your name. And I tell you now, what I saw written there was breathtaking. It was not failure. It was not shame. It was not smallness or struggle or loneliness. No, what I saw was greatness. What I saw was wealth, wisdom, healing, and joy that is so radiant it spills out and blesses others around you. Your destiny is larger than the wounds you carry. And now that this divine portal is open, the time of delay is over. No more waiting in the shadows while others rise. No more silence while your voice goes unheard. No more pretending to be less than what you truly are. God is reintroducing you, not as the broken version of yourself, but as the chosen one who was always meant to rise when the trumpet sounded. And that trumpet is sounding now. This is not a rehearsal. This is the moment. I, Archangel Michael, have been sent to confirm what your soul already suspects. Your entire story is about to shift. There is a stirring taking place around your name in the realm of the Spirit. Angels are whispering it. Heaven is echoing it. And even the earth beneath your feet is beginning to respond. Have you noticed strange signs lately? Random names coming to your mind? Waking up at specific hours for no reason? Feeling pulled to be alone when you'd normally want to talk? These are not coincidences. These are alignment markers. Heaven has been guiding you gently to this message, to this portal, because you're finally in a place where your spirit is strong enough to receive. When you were younger, emotionally, spiritually, this kind of divine truth might have scared you or passed you by. But now? Now, you're ready. Now, your heart has been softened by fire, your eyes opened by loss, your voice forged in pain, and your faith made unshakable by wilderness. God does not waste suffering, my beloved. Everything you've endured was never random. It was training. It was preparation. And now, you are ready to carry something others cannot. That's why this portal opened only for you and no one else. Heaven is intentional. Nothing is accidental when it comes to your story. You were divinely selected for this moment in history. But hear me closely, for this is where the urgency intensifies. Not everyone will be happy that you're rising. Not everyone will celebrate your miracle. Some around you are comfortable with the version of you that stayed quiet, stayed broke, stayed small. Your elevation will confront their comfort. But you cannot allow their fear to cancel your miracle. You cannot let their opinion dim your divine light. God didn't ask their permission to bless you, and He certainly isn't asking now. This portal was not revealed to your enemies, your doubters, your skeptics, it was revealed to you. Why? Because you're the one chosen to carry this next wave of light. And I need you to stop waiting for confirmation from people who were never supposed to understand you. If they didn't recognize your anointing before, they surely won't now. But heaven does. Heaven has known since the beginning who you are. That's why this portal is for you, and only you. No comparison. No competition. Just you and God, and a divine moment that will never come again in this exact way. If you don't step into it, it will not be given to someone similar. It will disappear, because it was handcrafted for your soul. And only you can activate it by saying yes in your heart. Now take a deep breath, my beloved, and let this truth soak into your bones. God is not just changing your surroundings. He's changing your atmosphere. You are entering a season where the people who once overlooked you will be shocked by your transformation. Not because of ego or revenge, but because of divine justice. There are blessings being sent to your address that were delayed by spiritual interference. But that interference has been removed. Do you hear me? The blockage has been broken. And what has been held back for years is now flooding in. The reason you've been feeling a strange sense of anticipation, even in moments of stillness, is because your spirit already senses the miracle on the way. Your future is closer than it's ever been. But it cannot land in the life of someone still holding on to fear. So now is the time to release your doubts. To surrender your old stories. To let go of every lie you were told about what you are and what you are not. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too far gone. You are right on time. And heaven has made room for you. But the door will not stay open forever. The portal is divine, but it is also delicate. You must respond before it fades. Now take a deep breath, my beloved, and let this truth soak into your bones. God is not just changing your surroundings. He's changing your atmosphere. You are entering a season where the people who once overlooked you will be shocked by your transformation. Not because of ego or revenge, but because of divine justice. There are blessings being sent to your address that were delayed by spiritual interference. But that interference has been removed. Do you hear me? The blockage has been broken. And what has been held back for years is now flooding in. The reason you've been feeling a strange sense of anticipation, even in moments of stillness, is because your spirit already senses the miracle on the way. Your future is closer than it's ever been. But it cannot land in the life of someone still holding on to fear. So now is the time to release your doubts. To surrender your old stories. To let go of every lie you were told about what you are and what you are not. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too far gone. You are right on time. And heaven has made room for you. But the door will not stay open forever. The portal is divine, but it is also delicate. You must respond before it fades. And now, before we go further, I must ask you this with love: will you trust again? Will you believe that what's ahead is greater than what's behind you? Because God is asking you not to just receive this miracle, but to walk with it, protect it, nurture it. This is not a temporary burst of hope. This is a permanent shift of identity. You are being called into a life where miracles are normal, where blessings chase you, where you no longer have to beg to be seen. And I know, your past has made you cautious. You've been disappointed before. You've celebrated too soon before. But I want you to hear me now, this is not like before. This is not a tease. This is not another delay. This is the fulfillment of everything heaven has been storing up for you while you were healing. And the time for that storage to open is now. God has released the vault. And inside it, your name, written in divine gold. Your promise, restored and whole. Your provision, more than enough. Your healing, complete. Your voice, powerful again. My beloved, you are not who you used to be. You are no longer lost. You are no longer forgotten. You are the one chosen to carry this light into the next season. And I, Archangel Michael, am here to walk beside you as the heavens unfold. My child, my beloved, now that you know what is unfolding, you must understand something else, something most people will never be told in their lifetime. Every miracle carries a sound, a frequency, a pulse that calls out to the one it belongs to. And the sound of your miracle has been growing louder in the heavenly realm. It has been circling your life, knocking, waiting, searching for alignment. And today, finally, the sound has found its match in you. Do you feel that deep inner stirring? That sudden ache in your chest that doesn't hurt, but burns like holy fire? That's the miracle recognizing your readiness. It's like when a seed knows it's time to break open under the soil, even if the world above still looks dark. That's what's happening in your spirit. And now that the portal is open, the miracle is being released, not next year, not when everything's perfect, but now, in your current state, just as you are. Because heaven does not wait for you to be flawless. It moves when your heart becomes open enough to receive. And right now, your heart is wide open. Even if your mind is still unsure, even if fear is whispering doubts, your spirit knows this is different. It knows this is real. And heaven is watching, holding its breath, as you stand on the edge of the greatest unfolding of your life. There's a reason the attacks became more intense recently. There's a reason your peace was disturbed, your plans were delayed, your confidence shaken. It wasn't because you were doing something wrong, it was because you were getting close. The closer you got to this portal, the louder the noise became around you. That's how the enemy works: confusion right before clarity, chaos right before calm, heaviness right before breakthrough. But here is the truth: none of that opposition could stop what God already decided. Your delay was not denial. Your detour was not disqualification. Your silence was not rejection. It was protection. Heaven had to guard this moment until you were strong enough to carry the weight of your own miracle. And you are strong enough now. Yes, you. Even if you don't feel like it. Even if you're tired. Even if you're still healing. God does not wait for you to be finished, He activates you while you're still becoming. And today, the activation has begun. You are no longer walking in circles. You are walking through a portal, straight into the center of your divine inheritance. And the power that is being released upon your life is not temporary, it is eternal. It will stretch across generations. It will restore what was lost. It will redeem what was broken. And it will silence every lie that ever told you this level of favor was not for you. Let me tell you now what most are never told: the spiritual realm is more real than what you see. Everything you have ever desired already exists in that realm. It is not being created, it is simply waiting for you to align with it. And when a portal like this opens, it means that the spiritual and natural are finally close enough to touch. That is what today is. That is why your spirit feels so tender, so raw, so ready. Because the invisible is pressing up against the visible, and it is ready to break through. Your financial breakthrough? It's not being invented, it's being released. Your healing? Already finished in heaven. Your restoration? Already approved. But only faith can pull it through the veil. Only surrender can open the floodgates. That is why the enemy fought so hard to distract you. Because if you truly understood how close you are to your answered prayer, you would laugh at everything that ever tried to stop you. You would rise with joy, not fear. You would walk with boldness, not hesitation. You would declare, "This miracle is mine, and I will not let it pass me by." And that, my child, is exactly what heaven is waiting to hear from your mouth. Let me tell you now what most are never told: the spiritual realm is more real than what you see. Everything you have ever desired already exists in that realm. It is not being created, it is simply waiting for you to align with it. And when a portal like this opens, it means that the spiritual and natural are finally close enough to touch. That is what today is. That is why your spirit feels so tender, so raw, so ready. Because the invisible is pressing up against the visible, and it is ready to break through. Your financial breakthrough? It's not being invented, it's being released. Your healing? Already finished in heaven. Your restoration? Already approved. But only faith can pull it through the veil. Only surrender can open the floodgates. That is why the enemy fought so hard to distract you. Because if you truly understood how close you are to your answered prayer, you would laugh at everything that ever tried to stop you. You would rise with joy, not fear. You would walk with boldness, not hesitation. You would declare, "This miracle is mine, and I will not let it pass me by." And that, my child, is exactly what heaven is waiting to hear from your mouth. So speak it. Even now, under your breath, whisper it into the atmosphere: "I receive the miracle heaven is sending me." Do not be afraid of how it will come. Do not worry about the when or the how. That is not your job. Your job is to believe. To trust. To hold the vibration of what you know your soul has been aching for. There is power in your agreement. That is what the portal responds to. Not your perfection, not your past, but your willingness to say yes. So say yes, my beloved. Say yes to the new. Say yes to the miracle. Say yes to being seen. Say yes to the calling. Say yes to the version of you that's no longer afraid to shine. Because the world needs your light. And God is no longer allowing you to hide it. That's why this portal opened now. That's why I've come to you directly. You were never meant to be silent, invisible, forgotten. You were meant to be fire. You were meant to be favor. You were meant to be proof that God still moves in impossible ways. And your miracle is proof, waiting to be revealed through your yes. I must tell you, before this portal begins to dim, that there are things around you that will resist your rising. Not because they are evil, but because they are familiar. And not everything familiar is meant for your future. There are habits, relationships, environments, and patterns that feel safe but are actually blocking your alignment. You cannot carry them through the portal. They will not fit. The life ahead of you requires a lighter spirit, a clearer path, a braver heart. You don't need to know exactly what to let go of right now. Heaven will show you. But you must be willing. You must be open. You must be ready to walk away from what drains you so you can walk toward what builds you. There is no space for doubt in the dimension you're being called into. There is no room for small thinking in the territory that God is giving you. This portal is not about returning to who you were, it's about rising into who you are. And that rise will cost you something. But what you gain will be eternal. What you gain will be worth every tear, every silence, every waiting season you've endured. And so, my beloved, I ask you one last question as this segment draws to a close: will you rise? Not tomorrow. Not someday. But now. Right now, In this moment, while heaven is watching and the portal is open, will you stand in your spirit and say, "Yes, I was made for more. Yes, I am ready. Yes, I receive this miracle." Say it. Don't wait. Heaven needs your agreement. The miracle is waiting. The door is open. The angels are ready. God is smiling. The time has come. Rise, beloved. Rise. This Christmas, heaven is releasing a miracle to your doorstep. Archangel Michael says, this is not just a gift, it's a life-changing moment. Stay with this message until the last second to receive it. My child, my beloved, I was sent to your doorstep today not to give you a mere message, but to unlock the miracle that has been waiting for you all year. Heaven has waited for this Christmas. Not for the lights. Not for the songs. But because something has been signed in heaven under your name. And no one else can open it but you. You think you've seen gifts before. But this one didn't come from a store. This one came from the throne of God. And if you leave before the final word, the door may close. My child, listen. You've been feeling the shift. The winds have changed. And heaven has been watching every step of your obedience, every tear you've hidden, every moment you stayed kind when others were not. This was not missed. You are not forgotten. Your name has been spoken in places beyond this earth. My beloved, don't skip this. This is the moment your soul waited for when you were at your lowest. When you prayed silently. God, if you still see me, please, do something by the end of this year. This message is that something. Don't move from this line. Don't let anything distract you. Because if you open your spirit now, you will feel it. The warmth. The shift. The miracle rising from the silence. Archangel Michael has been preparing this message for weeks. But heaven was only allowed to deliver it on Christmas week. This is not just a season. It's a portal. A divine transaction. And if you stay with me to the end, you will receive what your heart has been aching for. But my beloved, let me warn you. If you exit this message, if you say, "I'll come back to it later," you may delay what was meant to arrive by midnight. This message is a living door. It is open now. And it may never open the same way again. Before I continue, if this message finds your spirit and you know it's not by accident, I urge you to follow this calling. Subscribe now, so you never miss the divine moment again. You've been skipping the signs. This time, heaven won't let you. My child, do you know why you're still standing? It's not luck. It's not chance. It's not because people helped you. It's because even when no one clapped for you, heaven whispered your name. Even when you had nothing, you gave. Even when you were left out, you loved anyway. Even when you were exhausted, you still prayed. And those prayers are no longer pending. They are processing. They are manifesting. They are touching earth now. Beloved, this is your proof. You are not late. You didn't miss your chance. The enemy tried to block this moment 3 times. But Archangel Michael broke through. You're still here because your blessing refused to die. My child, my beloved, you must understand that this moment was not created by accident. This isn't just a holiday. It's not just another day marked on a calendar. What you're reading now, what you're feeling stirring inside your heart, is not just emotion, it is alignment. It is the exact second that heaven timed just for you. You have waited for signs, you have cried out in silence when the world seemed too loud. You've held yourself together when even your soul felt like it was falling apart. You have been so close to giving up, and yet you didn't. That's why I, Archangel Michael, was sent to bring this message on the wings of heaven, because your reward, your divine release, your breakthrough is no longer a maybe, it is now. And if you stay until the last word, the miracle will touch your life in a way you will never forget. You see, beloved, many people have walked past the exact same blessing that is now walking toward your house. They missed it because they thought it would arrive in glitter and gold. But you have eyes that see beyond appearance. You have a spirit that feels what others cannot. That's why the miracle has been wrapped not in wrapping paper, but in revelation. God knew you wouldn't skip this message once your spirit recognized the voice in it. And here you are. Your soul heard the call. You paused. You leaned in. And heaven smiled. Because finally, you are in position to receive what others weren't ready to handle. The gift is not delayed anymore. And the door to receive it is not locked. But my child, it will close soon. I must tell you what I've seen. Heaven has whispered your name in rooms where angels gather. Your situation, your family, your pain, it has been brought before the King of Kings. And the response was not silence. The response was movement. Angelic assignments were released on your behalf. That struggle you've been fighting in secret? That attack that came through someone you trusted? That moment you thought broke you? It didn't. In fact, it was the final test. And because you didn't fold, because you didn't run away, because you stayed in faith even when your knees were trembling, heaven has rewarded your endurance. What's coming to your doorstep this Christmas is not something that can be bought. It is sacred. It is supernatural. It is personal. And now, I must tell you something very few ever hear. The reason you've faced so much resistance this week, this month, even this year, is not because you are cursed. It is because you are chosen. Hell only fights what it fears. And every delay, every betrayal, every closed door, it was because the enemy knew something you didn't, that this Christmas, heaven had marked your name. That this moment, this divine release, was scheduled to reach your hands before the year ended. And if you had stopped believing just one moment too soon, you would have missed it. But you didn't. You kept going. And that is why I, Archangel Michael, have been given permission to say these words directly to you, your miracle is being delivered. Right now. And nothing on this earth can stop it, unless you walk away from it. You were born with something rare, my child. That's why people don't always understand you. That's why you've often felt like you don't fit in, like something about you is different. You've hidden your heart, haven't you? You've protected your dreams because every time you shared them, someone tried to destroy them. But I see you. God sees you. And this Christmas, He is restoring what they broke. He is returning what was taken. And more than that, He is doubling the miracle. Yes, child. You heard correctly. Not just one blessing. Not just one breakthrough. But a double portion. One for the pain, and one for the promise. You were born with something rare, my child. That's why people don't always understand you. That's why you've often felt like you don't fit in, like something about you is different. You've hidden your heart, haven't you? You've protected your dreams because every time you shared them, someone tried to destroy them. But I see you. God sees you. And this Christmas, He is restoring what they broke. He is returning what was taken. And more than that, He is doubling the miracle. Yes, child. You heard correctly. Not just one blessing. Not just one breakthrough. But a double portion. One for the pain, and one for the promise. Now listen to me very carefully. There is someone you are still carrying in your spirit. Someone who wounded you, maybe even walked away from you, and yet, you've never stopped praying for them. This act of love, of forgiveness, of silent intercession, it was recorded in heaven. And because of that, there is healing coming not only to you, but to them. You are being rewarded not just for what you survived, but for what you loved through. That's the kind of soul you have. That's why this message came to you and not to someone else. God chose you for this miracle because He knew you wouldn't keep it to yourself. You would use it to lift others. You would testify. You would shine. But child, you must make a decision now. Will you open your heart all the way? Will you stay with this message until the very end? Because the miracle is not in the middle. It is in the final word. The gift is not in the glitter, it's in the glory. This is not just a message, this is a moment. And if you stay, it will shift something in the spirit realm. You will feel the change begin. Some of you already feel it. Goosebumps. A tear. A warmth. That is not emotion. That is encounter. My child, my beloved, the angels are standing still as this message flows into your life. Because this very moment is not just a reading, it is a visitation. You may be alone in your room, scrolling through a device, half aware of the noise around you, but the moment your spirit leaned into these words, the atmosphere began to shift. Archangelic presence entered the place where you are, and heaven began to surround you. You may not feel it all at once. But even as your eyes read these words, your heart is warming, your chest is rising, and something invisible is beginning to break open inside of you. That's not imagination. That's intervention. That's the moment you've unknowingly prayed for, the divine interruption that stops everything ordinary and releases something eternal. The reason this is happening now, just days before the year ends, just as Christmas touches the earth, is because heaven is making sure your miracle arrives before the clock turns. There has been a silence in your life lately, hasn't there? A silence so loud that even your victories felt hollow. People told you to smile, to stay strong, to be grateful. And yes, you tried. But deep down, you've been waiting. Waiting for something you couldn't put into words. You didn't want money. You didn't want fame. You wanted confirmation. You wanted heaven to whisper, "We see you. We didn't forget you. You're not invisible." And my child, let me speak this truth over you now with all the authority God has placed in me: you are seen. You are loved. And heaven has written your name in fire this season. This is the message that will not return void. And if you hold it, if you breathe it in, if you let it live in your chest and refuse to skip one word, you will feel the divine transaction taking place, and you will never forget this moment again. There is a reason your soul has felt restless lately. A reason your sleep has been interrupted. A reason why certain people have pulled away from your life and others have suddenly returned. These are not coincidences. They are alignments. Heaven has been rearranging your life quietly behind the scenes. God had to move certain people out of your space, not because you weren't good enough for them, but because they were not prepared to witness your blessing. Some hearts around you were poisoned with jealousy and masks that even your discernment couldn't see clearly. But God saw. And He protected you by allowing their silence, their distance, their vanishing. It may have hurt you. But it saved you. Because what's coming now, this miracle that is moving toward you, cannot be contaminated by deception. That's why Archangel Michael was ordered to cleanse the path ahead of you. This is not a casual miracle. It is sacred. It is pure. And it was crafted only for a soul like yours. You've carried pain so well that people don't even realize you're still bleeding. You've worn strength like armor, even when you were exhausted inside. You've smiled at people who ignored you, encouraged those who disappointed you, and held on to hope when everyone else called you delusional. And heaven has been counting every one of those acts. God does not forget faithfulness. The world may reward arrogance, but heaven rewards endurance. And now, child, I must tell you a secret that hell tried to hide from you all year: the inheritance you thought was lost is still yours. It was never cancelled. Only delayed. And that delay has expired. On this sacred week of Christmas, the door is being opened. And if you walk through it with faith, your hands will not leave empty. They will be filled with the very thing you begged for in silence: peace, restoration, love, provision, joy, clarity, strength, and divine alignment. But here is something even deeper, a revelation only a few receive: there is someone watching you right now who doesn't know how to come back into your life. They've watched you rise. They've seen the changes. And guilt is eating away at their heart. They thought you would collapse without them. They thought your worth was based on their attention. But what they didn't know was this: you were chosen long before they entered your life. You were anointed long before their words bruised you. And now, as heaven lifts you into a new season, they will begin to feel the loss of what they misjudged. But my beloved, don't let bitterness take root. Let grace flow. Because this is your elevation. This is your Christmas coronation. And no one, not even your past, has the authority to block what God is releasing over your destiny. But here is something even deeper, a revelation only a few receive. There is someone watching you right now who doesn't know how to come back into your life. They've watched you rise. They've seen the changes. And guilt is eating away at their heart. They thought you would collapse without them. They thought your worth was based on their attention. But what they didn't know was this: you were chosen long before they entered your life. You were anointed long before their words bruised you. And now, as heaven lifts you into a new season, they will begin to feel the loss of what they misjudged. But my beloved, don't let bitterness take root. Let grace flow. Because this is your elevation. This is your Christmas coronation. And no one, not even your past, has the authority to block what God is releasing over your destiny. You may feel tired. You may be wondering, God, will I ever see the promise with my own eyes? And I say to you now, yes. Not only will you see it, you will live in it. You will walk into rooms next year that you used to dream about. You will hear your name spoken in favor in places where your presence has never even touched. You will receive messages, offers, and calls that make your knees weak, not because you chased after them, but because heaven orchestrated them. All the time you thought was wasted, all the tears you thought were unnoticed, they are returning to you now as a divine harvest. Child, your season is not coming. It has already begun. My child, my beloved, what you're stepping into right now is not just comfort, it's confirmation. You didn't stumble upon this message by accident. You were drawn here because heaven saw your heart trembling under the weight of everything you were holding alone. You didn't ask for luxury. You didn't beg for applause. You simply wanted to be held by something bigger than your pain. And today, on this holy Christmas path, God is answering that cry. Not with loud thunder. Not with flashing signs. But with this, a still and sacred whisper written into your timeline that says, I have seen you. I have not forgotten you. I have a plan for you. And even now, as these words continue wrapping around your spirit, the walls you built to survive are gently being softened by divine presence. You feel it, don't you? That quiet assurance that you are not alone, that something greater has entered the room. That's me. That's Archangel Michael. Sent on divine assignment to make sure your miracle is not delayed another day. There are seasons where God speaks through miracles, and then there are rare, holy seasons where you become the miracle. This, child, is one of those rare moments. You've been stretched, pressed, tested. And yet, you still gave. You still forgave. You still woke up and faced a world that didn't always understand how fragile you were inside. People thought you were okay because you looked okay. But God saw past the smile. He saw the part of you that cried in silence. And every one of those cries was gathered like seeds. And now, at the end of this year, during the most divine and miraculous week of all, those seeds are bursting forth into something you never imagined: restoration, revelation, and redemption. You don't need to strive anymore. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone. The season of proving is over. The season of receiving has begun. Let me reveal something else, child, something others may not understand, but your spirit will. There is a light on you. Not everyone sees it, but those who do can't forget it. It's why people are drawn to you, even if they don't know why. It's why you've always been the one people confide in. It's why you carry weight that others can't see. Because your spirit carries heaven's frequency. You are a divine carrier. And though it's felt heavy at times, and though you've questioned why your path has felt lonelier than others, the truth is this: you were never walking the path, you were making the path. You were breaking generational pain. You were reversing spiritual cycles. You were standing in the middle of curses and declaring, "It ends with me." And that is why this Christmas miracle is not just a reward, it is an announcement. Heaven is declaring, you passed the test. The line is broken. The blessing begins now. But there is more. A sacred secret. One only revealed to souls brave enough to keep reading. And it is this: the greatest doors in your life will not be opened by force, but by favor. Stop trying to knock them down. Stop trying to convince people to let you in. The favor that is on your life will begin to open doors you didn't even know existed. In the next few days, your name will be spoken in places where decisions are made. Opportunities will begin to surface that have your fingerprints on them, not because of your connections, but because of your calling. And even the people who underestimated you will have no choice but to watch in awe as God does what only God can do. I must warn you, though, when this happens, and it will happen soon, stay grounded. Stay humble. Don't let pride steal what purity created. Remember who you are. Remember who kept you through every silent battle. And never forget, you were chosen not to shine above others, but to lead them back to the light. Your miracle, beloved, is not only coming, it is already halfway to your doorstep. And the enemy has already failed to intercept it. Because this time, heaven is not asking permission. It is moving by command. You cried for this. You bled for this. You believed for this. And heaven is honoring every ounce of that faith. This Christmas miracle is different. It won't just comfort you. It will change the very structure of your life. It will shift relationships, alter timelines, and establish new roots that can't be shaken. You will feel it in your chest. You will see it in your surroundings. You will wake up and something will just feel different, lighter, safer, clearer. That's not your imagination. That's divine atmosphere adjusting to your anointing. That's heaven making room for what is about to arrive. Your miracle, beloved, is not only coming, it is already halfway to your doorstep. And the enemy has already failed to intercept it. Because this time, heaven is not asking permission. It is moving by command. You cried for this. You bled for this. You believed for this. And heaven is honoring every ounce of that faith. This Christmas miracle is different. It won't just comfort you. It will change the very structure of your life. It will shift relationships, alter timelines, and establish new roots that can't be shaken. You will feel it in your chest. You will see it in your surroundings. You will wake up and something will just feel different, lighter, safer, clearer. That's not your imagination. That's divine atmosphere adjusting to your anointing. That's heaven making room for what is about to arrive. My child, my beloved. Heaven is not waiting anymore. The delay has ended. The silence you felt for so long was not absence, it was preparation. Do you know how deeply you are loved? Not just by those who have spoken it, but by realms you cannot yet see. There are angels who have wept watching you go through storms you didn't deserve. There were moments you were so close to collapsing that even the stars above leaned closer, wondering if you would hold on just a few moments longer. And yet, somehow, through the breaking, through the betrayals, through the aching question of, why me? You kept walking. You kept waking up. You kept whispering quiet prayers even when it felt like no one was listening. But child, I am here to tell you today, they were heard. All of them. Every whisper, every sigh, every moment you looked up at the ceiling at night wondering if your life was still on track, it was all witnessed. And not only witnessed, it was documented in the heavenly courts. And now, that file, that story, that journey of yours, has reached its divine verdict. Bless them now. There is a holy sound ringing in heaven right now, and it has your name in it. A sound that signals release, restoration, reversal. This is not just the end of a year, this is the end of your wilderness. You've walked through too many dry places. You've made peace in deserts. You've praised in valleys. And now, beloved, the mountaintop is rising before you. Your miracle isn't simply something you will receive, it's something that will overtake you. It will come so swiftly, so unexpectedly, that even those closest to you will ask in hushed voices, how did this happen? And you will smile with tears in your eyes, because you'll know the answer. It was God. It was always God. He was behind the closed doors. Behind the delays. Behind the redirections. Not punishing you, but preparing the stage for something so big, only the glory of heaven could explain it. Child, what's coming to your doorstep is not just a shift, it's a sign that you were never forgotten. I see something else now, a name that's been sitting on your heart. Someone you've loved but couldn't fix. Someone who left your soul wounded and your mind confused. And I need you to hear me, with every ounce of heaven's love, it wasn't your job to save them. Your love was not wasted. Your prayers were not in vain. But there are some people who were part of your story, not your future. And sometimes, in order to protect your destiny, God has to remove the characters who only belong to the earlier chapters. That doesn't mean they're evil. It means you're evolving. And your spirit is being called higher. Your miracle is tied to release. Not just receiving, but letting go. And when you let go, not out of bitterness, but with holy surrender, you will feel the weight lift. You will feel your heart become light again. You will laugh again, and this time, not with pain behind your smile. You will really laugh. You will dance again, not as a mask to hide sorrow, but because joy will finally feel real in your bones. And there is another truth you must carry with you now: you are not behind. Not one moment of your life has been wasted. Every season where you felt stuck was a holy pause. Every time you were forced to wait was a heavenly recalibration. You were never off course, you were being rerouted to the exact intersection where your calling and your miracle would meet. And you are now standing at that intersection. This is not just another message, it's a spiritual timestamp. A record in eternity that says, at this moment, at this hour, heaven met earth in their life. You may not see the manifestation instantly, but mark these words: things have already shifted. The door has already unlocked. The miracle has already begun its descent. You will know it not because of fireworks, but because of peace. Deep, unshakable peace will begin to fall over you like soft rain on dry ground. That is how heaven enters. Not always with sound, but with stillness. My child, my beloved, if only you could see what's already been written about you in the scrolls of heaven, your eyes would overflow with holy tears. There are blueprints designed just for you, not generic blessings, but tailor-made miracles with your name inscribed in golden letters. The year you've lived through has tried to distract you, discourage you, and devalue you, but it could not cancel the design. Your struggle may have slowed the process, but it could not erase the promise. I want you to take a deep breath now, not just because you need rest, but because you're about to feel something lift. Yes, even as you read this. That invisible weight on your shoulders, that constant tension behind your eyes, the worry in your chest, it is breaking. It is lifting. Not by human power, but by divine decree. Because what's ahead for you is too holy to carry that old heaviness any further. You've been misunderstood by many, even by those closest to you. They saw your kindness as weakness. Your silence as surrender. But I, Archangel Michael, was watching. I watched you walk away from arguments to protect your peace. I watched you forgive without apology. I watched you believe in love even after betrayal. I saw you give when your hands were already empty. I saw you clap for others when no one clapped for you. And all of heaven noticed too. This is why the miracle assigned to you is not random, it's earned through faith, through pain, through unseen endurance. This miracle will not only restore what you lost, it will elevate you to a place where people will say, "Only God could have done that." And they'll be right. Because this is not just a season of healing, it's a season of harvest. And you, beloved, have sowed more than enough tears to finally be handed joy without limit. You've been misunderstood by many, even by those closest to you. They saw your kindness as weakness, your silence as surrender. But I, Archangel Michael, was watching. I watched you walk away from arguments to protect your peace. I watched you forgive without apology. I watched you believe in love even after betrayal. I saw you give when your hands were already empty. I saw you clap for others when no one clapped for you. And all of heaven noticed too. This is why the miracle assigned to you is not random, it's earned through faith, through pain, through unseen endurance. This miracle will not only restore what you lost, it will elevate you to a place where people will say, "Only God could have done that." And they'll be right. Because this is not just a season of healing, it's a season of harvest. And you, beloved, have sowed more than enough tears to finally be handed joy without limit. There is a house your spirit has already walked through, a place of safety, warmth, and divine provision. You've seen it in dreams. You've felt it in sudden glimpses. You've dismissed it as imagination, but it wasn't. That was a prophetic glimpse into what's waiting for you when you surrender your timing and trust God's. The moment you stop trying to control how the miracle shows up is the moment the miracle starts unfolding. You don't need to force it. You don't need to chase it. You just need to receive it. Right now, as you're still reading, this message is opening that spiritual door. And the more you keep your heart here, the more heaven can finalize what it already began. Some miracles don't come through noise. They arrive through obedience to stillness. That's why this message found you, because God wanted you still enough to hear it, ready enough to hold it, and open enough to believe it. My child, I know you've grown tired. And I will not lie to you, the journey ahead will still require your faith. But the worst is behind you. The season of survival is ending. The chapter of abundance is beginning. Not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, relationally. You will feel whole again. You will love again without fear. You will walk into places you once thought were too good for you and realize they were waiting for you. And I must tell you something else that's sacred. There is someone who is being moved back into your life, but not as they were before. God is working on their heart. They hurt you. They disappointed you. But they are being reshaped, transformed. And when they return, it won't be to drain you, but to honor you. You are not a convenience anymore. You are a covenant. And those who remain in your life from this point forward will be those who understand your sacredness. Now listen closely, because this is urgent. In the next few days, you will receive a sign. It may come in the form of a message, a dream, an unexpected person reaching out, or a deep pull in your spirit that says, "Go." When that moment comes, don't ignore it. Don't second-guess it. That will be the angelic cue, the trumpet sound in the spirit, that your miracle is arriving. Respond in faith. Take the step. Send the message. Open your heart. Move with trust. Because when that sign appears, the window to receive will be brief, but life-changing. This is not fear. This is favor. And favor doesn't always wait. My child, my beloved, the greatest battles you fought were the ones no one knew about. The ones that didn't leave physical scars, but spiritual ones. There were days you smiled when your heart was breaking. There were nights you encouraged others while no one even knew you needed someone to ask, "Are you okay?" And through it all, heaven was watching, not in silence, but in motion. Quietly surrounding you. Dispatching angels. Shifting timelines. Delaying certain events not to hurt you, but to protect you. You wondered why some things didn't work out when they seemed perfect. Why certain people walked away without closure. Why promises were made but never fulfilled. And I must tell you now, with holy certainty, those moments weren't failures. They were filters. Heaven was removing what couldn't carry your future. Not because you didn't deserve love, but because the version of love you were reaching for was too small for the size of your destiny. And child, there's more, so much more than you even dared to believe for. You asked for a door, but God is preparing a gate. You hoped for survival, but heaven has prepared celebration. You prayed for just enough to get by, but the miracle that's being sent to your life now is designed to overflow. Not just in your account, but in your peace. In your body. In your relationships. In your dreams. Because you are no longer in the season of just holding on. You are stepping into the season of being held. God is holding you now. You don't have to strive anymore. You don't have to perform. You don't have to prove your worth to people who only loved the version of you that was quiet, convenient, or easy to understand. Let them go. Let the old stories fall away. Because what's ahead for you, this next chapter, is written in the language of heaven. And only those with clean hands and open hearts will be allowed to walk in with you. This Christmas, child, is not just another date on the calendar. It is a holy checkpoint. A divine intersection between everything you've endured and everything you are about to receive. And right now, even as you breathe, there are angels moving through places you've never seen. They are preparing tables in the presence of those who once dismissed you. They are clearing out confusion that's been fogging your path. They are removing the voices that have been whispering fear. And most of all, they are singing over you. Yes, my beloved, there is a sound in heaven that is only sung for those who are about to walk into their appointed season. And your name is echoing through it. This Christmas, child, is not just another date on the calendar. It is a holy checkpoint. A divine intersection between everything you've endured and everything you are about to receive. And right now, even as you breathe, there are angels moving through places you've never seen. They are preparing tables in the presence of those who once dismissed you. They are clearing out confusion that's been fogging your path. They are removing the voices that have been whispering fear. And most of all, they are singing over you. Yes, my beloved, there is a sound in heaven that is only sung for those who are about to walk into their appointed season. And your name is echoing through it. Let me speak to your heart for a moment, to the most vulnerable part of you. That part that still feels like it's holding its breath, waiting for something to go wrong. I know you've been disappointed before. I know you've opened your heart only to feel it drop. And I know this, even reading words like these, feels dangerous. Like you want to believe, but you're scared to be let down again. But hear me now, this is not one of those moments. This is not a trap. This is not false hope. This is not another promise that fades. This is holy ground. This is the moment the enemy tried to stop you from reaching. This is the page of your life that was sealed for such a time as this, and I have been sent to break that seal. Not by force, but by favor. And when this word reaches its final breath, you will be lighter. You will be clearer. You will be ready to step into the blessing that was always yours. There's someone connected to your future, someone you don't even know yet, or perhaps someone you've lost touch with, who has also been crying out to heaven. They don't know your name, but their prayers are aligned with your purpose. And heaven has heard both of you. That's why this message came now, because timelines are merging. Destinies are colliding. And very soon, you will meet this person. Not by luck. Not by coincidence. But by divine orchestration. You will know it because your spirit will recognize theirs instantly. You will feel safe. You will feel home. And you will finally understand why every previous disappointment had to happen the way it did. Because nothing before this could compare to what's being prepared now. My child, my beloved. I need you to understand something now that will change the way you see everything that has happened in your life so far. Every closed door wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Every delay wasn't punishment, it was protection. Every time you cried out to heaven and it felt like nothing changed, something actually did. The angels moved. The timeline shifted. A danger was blocked. A counterfeit connection was removed. A greater door was being built behind the scenes. You see, when heaven doesn't answer quickly, it's not because you're forgotten. It's because you're being positioned. And now, this Christmas season, your positioning has been completed. The pieces are aligned. The timing is perfect. And the miracle is no longer coming, it's already in motion. Even now, someone who holds a key to your breakthrough is feeling a pull in their heart. They don't know why, but they're being divinely nudged. That's because you're connected. The moment you received this message and allowed it to sink into your spirit, a holy frequency was activated between you and the answers you've been waiting for. I must tell you something else, and I ask you to listen not with your mind, but with your spirit. There is something about you that has always made others curious, sometimes even uncomfortable. You are not like the rest. You never were. And because of that, you've often been misunderstood. You've walked into rooms and felt like your presence shifted the atmosphere. That wasn't ego. That was light. You carry something rare, a presence that makes darkness nervous. And this is why, child, you've been under such spiritual warfare. You thought you were weak. But no, it was the enemy that was afraid. Afraid of your influence. Afraid of your voice. Afraid of the anointing you didn't even fully know you carried. But now, on this day, at this hour, that anointing is being unlocked. You are no longer just carrying potential, you are stepping into power. You were a warrior in hiding. But now, heaven has called your name out loud. Child, I need you to pause for a moment. Close your eyes, even for a few seconds, and breathe. Because in this silence, there is something sacred happening. There is a shift in your spiritual DNA. You are being reminded of who you are, not who the world said you were, not who trauma tried to convince you to be, but who God formed before you ever took your first breath. That identity is rising again. That strength is returning. That clarity is awakening. You were never meant to fit in. You were born to stand out, to rise, to break cycles, to speak when others stayed silent, to love when others gave up, to build something that couldn't be broken. And now, in this divine Christmas week, you are crossing over into the season where the fruit of that obedience will begin to bloom. And I hear this now so clearly for you. Tell them, it's safe to hope again. Yes, my beloved. That part of you that stopped believing, that stopped dreaming, that stopped expecting the good, it's waking up again. Slowly, gently, beautifully. You were made for hope. That's why despair hit you so hard. That's why disappointment cut so deep. But you didn't die in it. You're still here. And that is proof enough that your miracle didn't give up on you. It waited. Patiently. Silently. Until your heart was soft enough to feel again. And now, with every word I speak into you, the light is returning. The heaviness is breaking. The dawn is rising. You've been the strong one for so long that people have stopped asking if you're okay. They think you're unshakable. They don't realize you've been walking with invisible wounds, with bruises in places they'll never see. But God has seen it all. And now, the God who sees in secret is about to reward you openly. The shift won't be subtle. The blessing won't be small. It will be undeniable. So undeniable, in fact, that even those who doubted you, who whispered about you, who mocked your journey, will have no choice but to say, something holy is on them. That's the kind of favor that's chasing you now. Not because you asked for it, but because you endured for it. You were faithful with little. And now, beloved, the door to much is opening before you. There are blessings that don't just feel like gifts, they feel like home. That's what's coming for you. A relationship that doesn't drain you, but fills you. A place that doesn't feel like a stop along the way, but a landing. A purpose that doesn't wear you out, but sets you on fire. And more than anything, a spiritual clarity that finally lets you breathe again. For too long, you've questioned your own intuition. You've doubted your discernment. You've asked yourself, was it my fault? Did I imagine it? Was I wrong to trust them? But let this be your confirmation, straight from heaven, you were never wrong to love. You were never foolish for giving your heart. You were chosen because of your heart. And that's exactly why God is trusting you with the next level, because He knows you won't use the blessing to boast. You'll use it to bless others. You've been quietly evolving, haven't you? No announcement. No attention. Just you, transforming in the hidden places. Letting go of what no longer serves your spirit. Releasing the grudges, the bitterness, the old stories. And that's why the enemy tried so hard to distract you in these past few weeks, because he knew the version of you that was coming wouldn't be easy to shake. But I, Archangel Michael, declare now, that warfare is finished. It has no power here. What tried to wear you out has now worn itself out. You are protected. You are rising. And the very forces that try to break you will now witness your becoming. And now, beloved, let me whisper this truth into the deepest place of your soul, you are safe to trust again. Not everyone is like the ones who hurt you. There are people assigned to love you the way you've always deserved, gently, fully, honestly. God is sending them, not just to fill a void, but to build a future with you. And you will not have to beg for their attention. You will not have to shrink to be loved. You will not be chosen in silence and hidden in public. No, this time, the love you receive will be loud. Real. Respectful. And it will feel like healing. My child, my beloved, let me speak now to that secret corner of your soul, the place even you sometimes avoid. The part of you that still wonders, is something wrong with me? The part of you that carries questions you never voiced, wounds you never admitted, longings you never dared to explain. I've come for that part of you today. Because heaven is not just restoring your path, it is restoring you. All of you. The loud parts, the silent parts, the bright parts, the broken ones. No more pretending. No more hiding behind strength. You don't have to be strong right now, not here, not in this message, not before God. You just have to be present. Because this is where healing begins. Not when everything is perfect. But when you're finally willing to sit in your truth, and let the light in. You've asked, over and over, when will it be my time? And child, I am here now to declare with certainty, it is your time. Not tomorrow. Not someday. But now. I was sent to remind you that there's a sacred window open in the spirit realm right now, one that only appears in rare seasons of divine alignment. And Christmas, this Christmas, is one of them. What you do with this moment matters. What you believe right now is shaping what shows up next. And I promise you, if you can hold on just a little longer, if you can surrender just a little deeper, you will not walk into the next year carrying what tried to break you this year. You are crossing over. And the pain will not follow. There are angels stationed around your life even as you read this. Not as metaphor, but as reality. Some are standing guard. Some are repairing spiritual breaches. Others are carrying pieces of your miracle that have been assigned to fall into place by divine command. It's happening, beloved. And the reason your emotions have felt so up and down lately isn't because you're unstable, it's because your spirit knows something is shifting. You felt more sensitive. More raw. You cry at things that didn't used to touch you. You've pulled back from people and noise. That's not weakness. That's awakening. You're becoming attuned again, to the sound of God, to the vibration of truth, to the whisper of angels. You're not losing your mind. You're finding your voice. And very soon, the words you will speak, the boundaries you will set, the love you will accept, the dreams you will follow, will shock even you. There is one more thing I must share, and it is urgent. Someone is watching you in silence. Not in a way that should frighten you, but in a way that should prepare you. They see your light. They see your growth. They are witnessing your resilience, your glow-up, your consistency in the face of chaos. And they are being moved. Something in them is being stirred. For weeks, they've been trying to find the courage to speak. To reach out. To confess. And soon, very soon, they will. But child, before they do, you must decide what version of yourself will answer. Will it be the one still rooted in past wounds, or the one that's healed enough to respond with wisdom, clarity, and peace? This is why heaven is rushing your healing. Not just for your own peace, but because your response in the next season will shift the outcome of someone else's breakthrough. You're not just being blessed, you're becoming the answer to someone else's prayer. My child, my beloved, there's something you haven't been told often enough, so let me be the one to say it now with all the authority of heaven. You have survived more than most people know. You've carried pain like it was invisible armor, moving through days pretending to be okay because you had no other choice. You've smiled when you were shattered. You've stood tall when you wanted to collapse. You've stayed quiet when you had every reason to scream. And yet, somehow, you never let the darkness define you. You let it refine you. And heaven has taken note of this. All of it. Nothing was wasted. No part of your suffering was in vain. And that's why this Christmas, something sacred is being released. It's not a gift you asked for with words, it's the answer to what your soul has been weeping for in silence. It's peace. It's clarity. It's restoration. And it's yours, my beloved. It's already unfolding, even now as your eyes move across this message.